Tyrese Gibson is still doing well for himself. He's starring in blockbuster movies and even has a new album coming out, but it's not his work that's got him the most media attention over the past few years. And you won't believe some of the crazy public feuds that he's made headlines with recently. Everyone knows about the beef between Tyrese and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, but he hasn't only been ruffling The Rock's feathers. Lately, he's also been in the spotlight for his ongoing feud with DJ Envy, and they just made their fight super public by airing their dirty laundry on the Breakfast Club radio show. And what went down between them was seriously unbelievable. Apparently, the pair used to be really good friends until something happened that drove a serious wedge between them. And having Tyrese on the show was supposed to be a way that they could clear the air and make amends. But you guys, spoiler alert, it didn't really result in the kind of peace treaty that they might have been hoping for. So one thing I should mention is that there is another person involved in Tyrese and DJ Envy's drama. In fact, this person is pretty much the cause of their rift. It's DJ Envy's wife, Gia Casey. So what exactly went down between them all? At one point during the interview, DJ Envy decided to speak his truth and confront Tyrese about the reason why he blocked him online and stopped talking to him in general. And it all had to do with the way that Tyrese allegedly spoke to Gia.
The person who spoke to me on these texts spoke to my wife during that time at the text. I didn't like that.
It turns out that they were referring to a time when Tyrese was allegedly taking psychiatric medication, and he claimed that he couldn't be responsible for his behavior during that period in his life. He compared it to being under the influence and asked DJ Envy if someone should be held accountable for something they said when they had been heavily drinking.
That hurt my feelings, that was offensive.
But DJ Envy didn't like Tyrese using that as an excuse, and went on to share that he never had a conversation with Tyrese because he never wanted to seem like that, adding that he wanted to remember Tyrese as the brother who helped his relationship and not the Tyrese who he was feuding with. But how exactly did Tyrese help DJ Envy with his relationship? Well, they both said that Tyrese actually sort of ended up saving DJ Envy's marriage. According to a report by People, he was the one who supposedly talked to Gia into giving her husband a second chance when she found out that he'd been cheating on her, which to his credit was a seriously big favor, and Tyrese wasn't going to let his friend forget that. At one point during their argument, DJ Envy explained that he didn't know what Tyrese was going through, and when he saw him talking smack, he decided to take a step back. And you won't believe how Tyrese came back at him.
How convenient to step back.
What you mean?
I never stepped back from you.
There was no way that DJ Envy could deny that, so he admitted that it was true, but then retaliated by saying that he never talked to Tyrese's wife in a disrespectful manner, and that's when things started to get heated.
And you could say you were on those psych meds.
After DJ Envy's co-host tried to calm down the situation, he went on to say that he was just giving the reason why he and his wife weren't speaking to Tyrese anymore. Tyrese managed to keep his cool, and then he gave his defense.
I've literally prayed that people can find it in their heart to not hold me to something that I said and did while I was literally out of my mind.
After hearing Tyrese out, the co-hosts were then able to diffuse the situation with humor, and they moved on to different topics. And in the title of the podcast episode, it even said that Tyrese mended his relationship with the Breakfast Club. So they probably could have all let bygones just be bygones at that point, but days later, Tyrese decided that the conversation wasn't over, and you're not going to believe what he did next. He posted a video on Instagram that was like throwing gasoline on the embers of their argument. In the video, he talked about how he lost some sleep ever since a man accused him of disrespecting his wife.
I literally just had to pull up some receipts.
He then showed viewers his screen so that they could see the date that he last spoke with Gia on their iCloud chat history.
How are we communicating about anything? August 23rd, 2022.
Tyrese then threw some major shade at DJ Envy and basically accused him of being a liar. And as you probably might have guessed, DJ Envy wasn't going to just let this slide. But I don't think anyone was expecting just how big of a reaction he would have. The following week, he decided to bring the whole thing up again on the Breakfast Club in order to critique everything that Tyrese said in his Instagram video.
So then he said I was lying and he never said anything disrespectful to my wife.
Later on in the show, DJ Envy went a step further and brought someone else into the conversation, someone who'd been involved since the beginning, his wife. And some of the things she revealed about what went down between her and Tyrese were pretty shocking. Gia admitted that they become friends after he helped save her marriage, and there was a time when they used to speak on the phone often, but after a while, Tyrese's behavior toward her allegedly began to change.
If I didn't give him my time and my attention.
Gia also said that both she and DJ Envy felt like lines were being crossed. He then asked his wife to be more specific about what she meant exactly, and what she said will shock you.
There was flirting and inappropriate compliments.
But despite everything the couple said Tyrese had done, they both still credited him for helping them with their marital problems.
I never said anything because yes, Tyrese was there.
But this incident with DJ Envy isn't the only time that Tyrese's name has ended up in the press for all the wrong wrong reasons. And in this other situation he was involved in, there were some insanely expensive consequences to his actions. So get this, in 2022, the New York Times published a report that explained how Dr. Dre missed out on becoming a billionaire with his deal with Apple Music. As you probably remember, he and his Beats Electronics co-founder Jimmy Levin sold their company to Apple for $3 billion, which is a bucket load of money, but apparently it could have been even more if it weren't for Tyrese. When Dr. Dre and Jimmy were finalizing the deal with Apple, there was only one thing that could get in the way of their $3.2 billion payday: the confidentiality agreement. If word got out about the deal, then it could ruin everything. IMO reported that one night at 2 a.m, Jimmy got a phone call from an unlikely caller delivering some bad news. It was Sean Diddy Combs calling to tell him that Tyrese had posted a video on Facebook. In the video, Tyrese and Dr. Dre reportedly talked about being inebriated after drinking Heineken in a recording studio. And apparently at one point, Dr. Dre talked about the deal and stated that he was going to be the first hip-hop billionaire. When word got back to Apple CEO Tim Cook, everyone was worried that the deal had been blown. But in the end, it was decided that about $200 million would be taken off the offering price due to the social media mishap with Tyrese, which apparently meant that Dr. Dre just missed out on becoming a billionaire. I hope there's no hard feelings between Tyrese and Dr. Dre, but they were probably both kicking themselves afterward. So like I said, Tyrese has been in the media a lot for his crazy antics than for his professional work. But anyway, what do you guys think? Whose side are you on in the feud between Tyrese and DJ Envy? Do you think Tyrese has been forgiven for posting that incriminating video on Facebook? Let me know in the comments below.